Today's lesson is called Get Over Yourself. Here are some of the most annoying things I hear on a daily basis from various clients that are just becoming public figures or just being released to the public. Can we please switch that picture? I don't like the way my mouth looks in that picture. Oh, I can't record today. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. And I'm having the worst hair day and I'm feeling bloated and fat today. And I just can't, not with my hair looking like that. And I didn't get a chance to shower today. So today is not a good day to record because I had a fight with my husband. And every excuse. And it's always the same. I'm not in the mood or I'm scared of how I look. There's always one of those two. Always. I have anxiety today. I'm upset today. I'm not feeling it today. The thing is that personality never feels it. It's few and far between that personality will actually be in the mood. Listen, if it was once in a blue moon that a candidate would say to me, I'm not in the mood because, my dad died, whatever, I could live with that. But the personality that's not in the mood one day because they don't like their hair is constantly finding excuses of why they're not ready to do the thing. So one of the biggest problems for people is their own self. And I can't tell you how many times people stand in their own way of winning because they can't get over those things that they think is wrong about them. Maybe you have a skin condition or you're having bad hair day or you're really overweight or you feel you're too skinny or people have made fun of your nose or whatever it is. There's something about you physically or emotionally that makes you fragile and makes you afraid to show who you are, and it forces you to play small because you're crippled by that insecurity. Now, what I'm about to say, I'm going to qualify, so don't bother sending me hate mail. But one of the best things that I did for myself as a public figure was come to terms with the fact that I'm obese. I am not advocating obesity. I am not saying that you shouldn't lose weight if you are obese. I am not saying that I am fat shaming either, okay? What I am saying is that I have come to terms with the fact that I'm fat. And people cringe when I say that because I'm not allowed to call myself fat. But guess what I am? Fat. And I had to come to peace with it. I'm okay with it. I'm not like Lizzo that loves my curves, but I've come to my peace with it. Which means if somebody posts a picture of me that's ugly, well, guess what? That's what I look like. You know what I mean? So I don't agonize over it. I don't not do a video because I'm not looking my best that day. I don't not appear. I don't not show up because I'm feeling fragile because my boyfriend and I had an argument. Like, that does not happen with me. I got over the physical stuff. I've accepted it to the point that it doesn't stop me from doing what I need to do to succeed. Because as an apex predator, I want to win more than I want to look good. I want to win more than I want to look good. I want to win more than I want people's approval. I want to win more than I want anybody to love me. So I could give a shit, pardon my language, how I look, how I sound, whatever. If it means me doing the thing is going to make me win. So if you have the physical thing that you're insecure about, either fix it or find your peace with it. If you're the type of person that is often not in the mood, or you need to wait till you have the motivation, I'm going to tell you now, you're never going to have the motivation. Because what you don't have is discipline. Because guess what? Most of the people that get things done, high functioning apex predators, are always not in the mood, but they show up anyways. That's what puts them at the top, is the discipline to do what is required, most especially when you're not in the mood. When you can start doing things without motivation, that's when you start winning. That's when you start outrunning people. That's when you win. Most people that are professionally in the political life are already middle-aged and older. They've either got resentful kids or medical issues or a spouse with medical issues or a divorce or whatever they're going through, and aches and pains and exhausted. Believe me when I tell you, none of us are in the mood. But those of us that are making it are really, really disciplined. The motivation will never be there. You have to do it anyway. And if you are not the personality that can cultivate that in yourself, you're not going to get that far. Because the scandals that happen don't happen. No one's ever in the mood for a scandal. No one's ever in the mood to deal with that. I'll tell you now. Right? That when you have to filibuster, do you think you get to schedule when you have to do a filibuster and you can't even leave the room to pee? What happens when you have to filibuster when you were really looking forward to that one weekend off, or it was your kid's birthday and now you can't go, or your anniversary, worse even, and you can't go because you have to sit there in some stupid show of a filibuster that maybe you don't even agree with, right? That's the kind of stuff that you have to face, and that's what you have to be able to fight through and live through. And that is hard to do. That is so hard to do. And often, especially during campaign time, when your team will hit you up without preparation and say, can you do a video talking about the new policy or talking about what the opposition did? Can you come here and let's take a picture? Can you come here and shake the 50th hand of the stupidest person you've ever met? Because you're going to hear a lot of stupid shit when you're on the campaign trail, let me tell you. So there come days where you've talked to so many people that have said so many vile things that you just want to pray for an apocalypse and go to bed, right? Life and politics will have those days. And you need to be able to power through the things when you're not in the mood, as it will happen all the time. So you need to cultivate that mentality. And those silly excuses of yours, they have to go. They have to go. Because here's the thing. Your campaign management team, as much as they love you, they're in constant communications with headquarters. And headquarters will often send members of parliament to campaign with you, to give you a hand, give you some endorsements, knock on some doors and give you some star power. But don't think they're not reporting back to headquarters saying, yeah, this guy is nice, or this woman's efficient, or, she's not, people don't like her, people like her. Like, they report on you as much as they are there to help you, believe me. They are there to mentor you, they are there to help you, but they're also paying attention. They're also paying attention. So if you start, when people start hearing, well, they're great when I can get them in the mood to do the thing, or when HQ is watching, by the way, headquarters, that's what I call HQ, and I'm referring to party headquarters. So whoever it is, the head of whatever banner you're under, okay? And they start saying, why aren't you putting out content? What are you going to say? I'm not in the mood. My hair wasn't right. Like, nobody wants to hear I'm having a bad hair day. You can't use that excuse on the campaign trail. I don't care how bad your hair is. Fix it, whatever it is, right? So if you have a hang up, and I'm not just saying it, you have to get over your hang up so that you can do the job you need to do to win. It's not about that. Remember, what do I keep saying over and over and over again? To try and be happy, to try and like it, because it's a toxic environment. So if you're going to be in this environment, you might as well, I'm going to say this on repeat through the whole thing, carve out a place under the tent you'll be happy in. So if you know that you're going to be photographed 1,000 times. And I remember, Doug Ford, or the Premier of Ontario, going through this. When he first got elected, everybody was concerned about his weight. So he went to the gym and he went and did this diet. And then one day it was like, guess what? I'm a big guy. Like, deal with it. And now he's just doing his job, right? He got over it. He got picked on so many times, he doesn't feel it anymore. And he doesn't even care. He'll be the first to crack a joke. You need to get like that. You need to be able to say, I'm fat, without even a flinch of a feeling. I look in the mirror, I see myself at my absolute worst. I have zero feeling beyond, gee, I hope I don't die of a heart attack today. That's the only concern I have. I could care less about how I look, how people perceive me, because I'm busy doing a job. And that's what you need to get to. Because do you know how liberating that is? How liberating it is to not care what people think. And I know that, again, it's kind of a dichotomy, right? On the one hand, I'm telling you not to care what people think. On the other hand, politics is all about what people think, right? And shaping how people think. But I'm talking right now not in terms of what's going to get you elected. I'm talking about the fact that you're walking into public life and every single thing you do is going to be dissected. And you're going to be photographed. Even the most beautiful person on the planet can take an ugly picture. It happens all the time. So you're going to be photographed so many times, the whole lot of them are going to be unflattering. And guess which ones the press love to choose? Always the worst picture. It's the way it is. And sometimes your own party will choose pictures of you don't like and force them to be in a campaign video or on a flyer or whatever. And they're sending 10,000 of them out and you just want to crawl under a rock. Wouldn't it be great if you didn't care? If you just let them do what they have to do because you want to win more than you care what people think, more than you care how you look, right? You're going to do whatever it takes to win, which means if you got to speak when you're not in the mood or you're feeling shitty, you're going to do a damn good job. If you need to go on a video, even though you feel like a turd that day, then you're going to put a ponytail on the turd and you're going to do a great video. You need to cultivate that. And when you stop caring about the little hang-ups that, believe me, nobody else cares about. Even when they're making fun of you for it, they don't really care. They're making fun of themselves too, right? They're making fun of everybody else for something else. So when you get to the point that it no longer affects you emotionally, you can actually enjoy the process. I remember one time I took a walk and these kids were driving by and one little boy, must have been about, 8, 10 years old, hung out the window and he started mooing at me. And I genuinely laughed, genuinely thought it was funny. It was innocent. It was a kid being a kid and it was funny. And I thought it was funny. Do you know how many women I know would have cried themselves to sleep that night? Now tell me, who's living the better life? Them or me? And believe me, this is what you're going to face in public life. I can't tell you how many, forget politicians, even a lot of my CEO clients. Daniela, I want you to do my social media. I even had a candidate do this to me once. They hired me to follow them, okay? So they said, I'm going to hire you to follow me on the campaign trail because I want to video everything and I want to put it out on social media. I'm going to run a social media centered campaign. Fantastic. So it's like my dream gig. So now I'm following them everywhere. And every time I turn on the camera, they shooed me away. No, not right now. I'm not in the mood. No, not right now. No, my hair. No, not this conversation. No. And they were constantly shooing me away. And then it's like, look, I've been here a week. We haven't done a video. I thought you said you want a social media campaign. You can't do that unless we have social media content. And I can only design so many graphics. People want to see your face. You're standing in your own way. If you have a hang-up you're not getting over, the only thing you're doing is preventing your success. And I'm going to say that 65 to 70% of the time, When I see someone not achieve their goals, it was because they either weren't resilient or they weren't resourceful, and they weren't willing to do the things that took them outside their comfort zone. They weren't willing to be coachable to fix the spots of them that needed polishing. So they either hid or they didn't improve, and then they got stuck. Be coachable and embrace your shit. That's your advice for today.